What is up, guys? Fahir here from AwesomeTuts.com. Moving forward with our enemies, we added the bird. Now we are gonna add a spider. So if we go here in our assets, then sprites, and then enemies folder, so not items, but enemies folder, let's search for the one at S, and here it is. This is our spider, so this is what we have. It's only 3 frames of animation, so what we need to do is set the sprite mode to multiple, go into the sprite editor and slice this little bad boy. So click on slice and apply. So voila, this is one part, another part, and a third part. The next thing to do, we know, is create an animation from it. So what we need to do is select 2 of these. So we have our sprite _0 and _1. Select these 2 and drag and drop them right here, and bam, here they are. Select the animations folder, click on new folder here, and we are gonna create spider animations and hit enter to create it. And I'm gonna name this one spider. How I'm gonna name it? Spider, I don't know, spider animation, just like that, because then we will have a spider dead. I cannot say this is walk because he's not like walking. He will be like, just, I don't know, moving up and down. Anyways, the next thing to do is create our spider dead animation. So select the animation tab, drag and drop it right here, and I am gonna click on the drop down list, create a new clip, and this one is gonna be our spider die or spider dead. Hit enter to save it, and simply drag and drop this underscore through 2, which is a single frame, and voila, we are done with our spider animations. The next thing to do is, well, change the name of the spider in the hierarchy. So change it to spider, add a box collider on him. So box collider 2D. Also apply a rigid body on him. So here we're going to say rigid body 2D. Let us edit the box collider. I don't want it to be this big, so we are going to resize it on the X. Let me just go here and resize him. Something like this. Yeah, here. This will do. So for the X, the size is going to be 1.04. So this is the size on the X where the spider can actually touch the player and then the player can die. Now also this spider is enormous. I don't want any gigantic mutating spiders in my game, so I'm going to resize the scale at 0.5 and then 0.5 more time, and we are good to go. Of course, if we hit the play button now, the spider is simply gonna fall down. As we see, bam, this is not what we want, but instead we are gonna set the spider's box collider to be a trigger. And for the rigid body, we are gonna set it to be kinematic because we want the spider to be like this right here. You see, we want the spider to be like this. Now, his animation is also a little bit fast. If we go here in the animator tab and select the spider animation, notice here we see that the spider layer, this animation, is the default one. Now we can select it. This is still an animation clip, so select it, and when you do that, in the inspector panel, you see here you have the name for the animation, you can tag it, you have the motion, which is the actual clip, and you have something called speed. The speed right here determines the speed of the animation. 1 is 100 or normal speed. 2, it will be twice the normal speed. If we say 0.5, that is the half of the normal speed. So if I hit the play button now, notice how spider animation is a little bit, it is a little bit slower. Maybe we can set it at 0.8, not exactly at 0.5 because it's too slow. So 0.8, I think 0.8 is a little bit okay, and we are good to go. The next thing to do is go in the assets, scripts, enemy scripts, right click right here and create a new C# script. This is going to be our spider script, and this is where the magic for the spider happens. So spider script like this, drag and drop that on the spider bad boy like this right here. And if I go into the prefabs quickly, enemy prefabs, drag and drop the spider just so that we have a prefab out of him. Double click the script and open it in MonoDevelop, and voila, here we are. Let me just find it here, spider script, and voila, this is it. So let me just tag here with the class tag, hold enter to give a little bit of space so that we can clearly see what is going on right here. So the first thing, as always, when we create a new script, we need a couple of variables. We need a private animator, so we need to control the animation of the spider. We also need a private rigid body 2D, which I'm gonna call my body. We also need a private vector3, which is going to be move direction, which is going to be equal to vector3 down. This is the initial direction where our spider is going to move. And we are going to have a coroutine that we are going to use to, well, move our spider. But we will do or create that coroutine in a second. First of all, in the void awake function, we are going to get the reference to the animator. So anim is equal to get component animator, like this. My body is equal to get component, and it's going to be rigid body 2D, like this. And the next thing to do is create our functions to move the spider. So here we're going to say void move spider, and we're going to use the transform translate. That's why I have used or set the rigid body to be kinematic. And we need to call this in the update function so that it will apply or actually move the spider. So in the move spider function, simply call transform translate, and we're going to translate by using move direction, and we're going to multiply that with time dot smooth delta time. So this is what we want. Now we are going to create a function that's going to actually change the movement of our spider. So here we're going to say IEnumerator, which is a coroutine, which we are going to call change movement. And in the change movement, we are going to say yield return new wait for seconds, and we are gonna wait, let's say for example, a random range from between 2 seconds and 5 seconds. So a random range between 2 and 5, and then what are we gonna do? Well, we are gonna call a line of code or lines of code that are gonna change the direction. So we're gonna test here if move direction is equal to vector3 down. So if we are going to the down direction, moving down, we are now going to say move direction is equal to vector3 dot up. Else, if the move direction is not equal to vector3 down, that means it is equal to vector3 up. We're going to call move direction and set it to be equal to vector3 down, like this. And below here, we're simply going to start the coroutine with the given coroutine name. Now what I like to do is, because when our spider dies, we are going to stop the coroutine from the movement, because if we don't stop the coroutine for the movement, the spider will continue to move. And what do we need to do here? Well, in this case, we are simply gonna go here above, and I like to create it like this. I like to say private string coroutine, so coroutine underscore name, and it's gonna be equal to, and I'm gonna name this one change movement. So this is the name of the coroutine, which is our, change movement. And now instead of calling start coroutine like this, we're simply gonna pass here the name of the coroutine. So it will be name coroutine or coroutine name, which will start the coroutine with the given name as a string. Why am I doing it like this? Well, because you can type here afterwards stop coroutine with the given name, which is this one right here, and it will simply stop that coroutine, which will happen when the spider dies. And when will the spider die? Well, in our void on trigger enter 2D, which takes a collider 2D, which I'm gonna call target like this. Here we are gonna, kill the spider. And how we're gonna do that? Well, we're gonna test if the target dot tag is gonna be equal to my tag's bullet tag. So if we shoot the spider, we are gonna kill it. Now, how are we gonna kill it? We're gonna simply play the animation. So anim play here, spider dead, which is the dead animation of the spider. We are gonna say my body dot body type. So here we're gonna say body type is gonna be equal to rigid body type, and we're gonna say dynamic. Now, why am I saying dynamic here? Well, because our spider is going to fall down when we kill him. For the moment being, the spider is just moving up and down between 2 points. But when we kill him, it's going to be like this. So the spider, let's imagine spider moves between here and here. So just like this, he goes up and down, up and down, up and down. When we kill him, he's going to fall down like this. That's why we are going to change the rigid body to dynamic so that the physics will be applied to that game object. Now, after our spider is dead, we also want to deactivate the game object because we don't want it to be in our game scene since we don't need it anymore. So here we're going to say IEnumerator. So IEnumerator, which I am going to call spider dead like this. Here we're simply going to yield return new wait 4 seconds. And let's say we wait 3 seconds after we kill the spider. Then we're going to call game object set active to false. And simply start the coroutine right here. So start coroutine, and here is the coroutine that we want to start. So we are gonna call it spider dead. And voila, just like this. Now, of course, you can also call here start coroutine or actually stop coroutine for the coroutine name. So here we're gonna say stop. This is so that we stop moving our spider. So here we're using transform translate, which is the same thing we use for the bird. Let me just find the bird here. So here is the bird script. We are using transform translate, except that here we're not using the speed to move the spider. Now translate will simply move the game object in the given direction right here by using smoothed out delta time, because we are calling that in the update function. And voila, we are good to go. Now we do need to also call the coroutine change movement in the start function when we start the game, or otherwise this will not work and our spider will only move in the down direction, because initially move direction is vector 3 down. Now let me test it out just for the movement of the spider so that we can see what am I talking about and how is this working. You see the spider is moving like this. So now he will start going up, you see again, and now he will start going down. This all depends on that random range coroutine or random range return yield return time. So if I go back and let me explain that. So it is right here. Yield return wait for seconds. It's a random range number between 2 and 5. Random range will give a number between these two numbers, including these two numbers. So it will be either 2 or 5 or 3 or 4 or maybe 2.5 or 2.1. I don't care, but it's a random number between these two numbers. After we wait that many seconds, we are going to test if the move direction is equal to vector 3 down, then we will change the move direction to vector 3 up. Else, if the move direction is not down, then obviously it's currently up, so we need to change it back to down, which makes the spider goes up and down as we saw a moment ago. Now you saw that the spider stands between those 2 points. So you see the spider goes down, now he will go up. He is between these 2 points where he is going down and up. But notice now what's gonna happen when I shoot the spider. So let's try to shoot him. Hopefully, can we shoot him? I don't think so. Let me just go and put the spider like this so that we can shoot him more easily. So notice now, when I shoot the spider, bam, you saw the spider just went down. He fell down because we set his rigid body to be dynamic. Gravity was being applied to him and he started falling down. Now you saw also the bullet just went through the spider. So what do we need to do is we need to select the spider, go into the tags here, create a new tag. So I'm going to create a spider tag, tag our spider like this with the spider tag and hit apply, and go here in my tags. So we have the beetle, public, static, string, spider tag, it's equal to spider. And in the spider, or actually the bullet script, here we are gonna add one more statement. So here we're gonna say or target dot game object dot tag is equal to my tags dot spider tag. Now we know that this right here is testing if target game object tag is equal to the beetle tag, or these two pipes means or. When we have a statement like this, only one of these needs to be true. So either the game object tag will be beetle or the snail or the spider tag. It does not matter. If one of these is true, then this whole statement here will be true and we will execute the code that's inside. Only in the case that all of these are false, then we will not execute the code. So we are essentially asking if the game object tag is equal to beetle, or if its tag is snail, or if it's a spider tag. So for example, if I tell you, go in the room and if you find John, bring him to me. Or if you find Kenny, bring me Kenny. Or if you find Carl, bring me Carl. So if you find either one of those three, bring him to me. If you go in the room and you find, I don't know, Bob, then you're not gonna bring Bob because Bob is not John, is not Kenny, it's not Carl. So this is what we are doing right here. Everything else here is pretty much self-explanatory. So we are simply getting the reference to the animator, to my body, starting the coroutine that we have just explained. In the update, this transform translate is moving the game object. Here we are starting the coroutine also in the change movement. In onTrigger enter, we are testing if we are hit by the bullet. If that's true, play the dead animation, change the rigid body to dynamic so that the gravity will be applied to the game object and it will start falling down. Start coroutine, spider has died, to deactivate him and stop the coroutine with the coroutine name, which is this one right here. Change movement so that we don't change the movement of our spider anymore. One last test. So if I go here and shoot the spider, notice what's gonna happen. Bam, you saw spider just went down. Let me just go here, move him a little bit upwards so that we need to jump in order to hit him. Notice now, bam, 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 and you saw that our spider simply fell down and he was deactivated. You see, we don't even see him. If I double click, you see this is where he, well, reached the point before he was deactivated. The point of deactivating game object is that they don't take up memory in the game after we don't need them anymore. That's why in every game object, we built in this function that will set the game object not to be active after we destroy it. Fahir here from AwesomeTudes.com. I will see you guys in the next video.